live. Let's see who we got. Me. Keris and Rafi, hi, having a look. Welcome. I'm just making a car rug. So I just need to keep my eye on it a little bit. I keep saying I need to make some, and I've got all this yarn in here, so I figured I might as well do it. Got a nice cup of tea. Oh, wait. £5,000 deposit in 4 easy steps. Oh, shut up. My own ad interrupted me. Let's have a look. Let's turn it right down. Got to watch me chat on the phone. I'm not sure if anyone's around today. I didn't announce that I was going on, but I shall just sit here and crochet and see what happens. I'm using some yarn that I got from Joann's, I think it was. They are Lion Brand Mandala. It says baby, but you know, a bit of a gloomy colour for babies. But it'll do. Excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. It's just allergies. They're a bit rife at the moment. Annoyingly. Hey. Hang on. Can't see my chat now. Trudy, hi. And little sis will join shortly. Woo woo. I'm just crocheting with some. Well, I've got a couple of these. It probably isn't enough. Oh, hang on. Remember, but for 33 months, I've got a special little. Oh, dipping it in the tea. Got a little ding dong. It didn't go in the tea. It threatened to, but it didn't. So, how are you? Did you have a good Christmas? Hope so. I've just got to make sure that I don't mess this up. I've not crocheted and chatted for a long time. Used to do it all the time, didn't I? Finishing off my projects. I'll just have a look at the chat in a sec. Finish this round because it's just a quick one and it's the one that makes it square. I'm going to do a square car rug. I normally do rectangles or make them out of squares so you can make them rectangle. But I've never made one that is an absolute square car rug before. So I thought, well, you know, in the car, it doesn't really matter what it looks like, does it? I mean, it's rectangle, square, doesn't really matter. So I figured I could just make a nice wide one that you can tuck round you while you're sitting in the car, and then it can go down to the floor. But I don't think I've got enough of this yarn, but it'll probably be other colours that I can add in. Oh, hi, Ms. Monica, welcome. And MJ Busy, Michelle J, Chelsea Hook, hello. And Annie Cat, hi. Lots and lots coming in. Woohoo. So, here it is. That's how far I've got. Yeah, not too far. Gary is in the other room painting. So if you start hearing some funny noises, and also it's playing havoc with my allergies. I'm allergic to paint, fumes and carpet when they're new. All sorts of things like that irritate my nose. Cheers, guys. Got to have a cup of tea. Oh, I need that. With all that paint fumes, I need that. Yarnaholics. I like that. We should maybe call our live streams Yarnaholics Anonymous. So, yeah, I've got that far so far. It's not very big, is it? I love this yarn. It's really moody. I like the gloomy, moody colours. When I saw it, I thought, ooh. And I'm usually a really bright rainbow kind of person. And all the other colours that I bought were bright. But this one, it just caught my imagination because it was gloomy. So what it's going to look like, I have no idea. It probably looked like I've washed it wrong and it's gone a bit drab. No, my luck. So did you have a good Christmas? What did you do? Did you do anything nice? Stay at home? Have family over, friends over? We did our last thing yesterday. We went to my eldest son's house for dinner and did the present swap. I have one more present swap to do. Well, actually, I have to deliver their presents to their dad and do a job for him at the same time, or a couple of jobs, because I have to do all his technical stuff. And then I've got my other little grandson. Hang on. Roberta, welcome to Queens of Rock. I had this spell ages ago. It's got gin on it. I mean, I don't drink anymore, but it came with a. It came with. It says "Ring for Love." Ring for love. I better not tell Gary, otherwise every time I ring that, it'll be shooting it like a shot. You went for one of those. What's a bray and swim? Whoa, Trudy, is that one of them cold swims, or mind you, it's probably lovely where you are. I mean, I see on the TV today there was all these people doing those freezing cold dip in the sea. And I have I say a friend, but she is kind of, but she was the daughter of my mum and dad's best friends as I was growing up. But she was a lot older than me, so we didn't hang around or anything. She just viewed me as an annoying kid. But we went to see a house once, and obviously I was getting older, so. But in more recent years, we bumped into her at a friend's party. So we're now friends on Facebook, and she does that all the time, meets up for a freezing cold dip in the sea. So they say it prolongs your life. It probably wouldn't mine. Shock would probably kill me. Very quiet holiday. Had holiday with your family before Christmas. Hi, Deanne. Welcome. In no summer, 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Cape Town. Whoa. Ice. You definitely have a swim, I would. Sitting here sipping your tea, making washcloths and waiting for the doctor to come and see you. Luckily, they still do house calls in your area. Yeah, I think if sometimes, when I've always thought that they didn't, and they'll surprise me, but it's very, very rare, and I don't think they'd do it now. We've got a new, I'll say newer surgery, but what's happened is our GPs have been bought out by a large firm that specialise in kind of medical centres. So whereas it used to be at first a family practice and then it just branched out into doctors, over the years it was one of the considered to be the best one in the town. But as years went by, doctors retired or passed away, and it never really kind of bounced back, if you know what I mean. And then after a while, you couldn't get an appointment. They couldn't get locums in, and it was really awful situation. Then we had the lockdown, and they didn't want to see us because they thought we were murderers, with our diseases. And that never got any better afterwards. It never went. It was only ever phone consultations and, oh, really? Send me a picture of it, that sort of thing. Diagnosis through the camera. But then all of a sudden it changed. We've got like loads of doctors and one that's not even qualified. They always try and palm me off with, which they won't be doing that in future. And loads of nurses and appointments galore whenever you ring. Yeah. Crazy, huh? Gone from nothing to loads. Oh, I'm going to have a break and finish my tea because it's getting cold otherwise. So yeah, we went out this morning. I've got blue hair, look. I haven't really got blue hair, but looks it. We went out this morning and got some DIY stuff. And had I known, I would have picked up some pink paint because, the wardrobe wall, you'll see a little bit each side of the wall, but it's not enough to really use wallpaper, and plus there's wallpaper on that wall which would have to be taken off, but it's only that kind of pretend brick, so it can stay because the whole wall is going to be a wardrobe really, apart from these couple of little areas. So if I need to take the paper with us so we can go out and match the colour, and then it will just blend. But at the moment I'm being gassed by the smell of paint. I hate paint fumes, I really do. But it's a water-based one, so that's not as bad as the old oil base. But they still are a bit, they kind of get you at the back of the nose and horrible. Make me wheezy usually, but thankfully I haven't got to breathe it in tonight. Cheers, guys. I know it looks scummy, but it's not. It's just the way my black tea works with the water that we have. I used to use I'm getting a phone call. I was going to say, I hope it doesn't mess up the live, but it won't, will it? Because it's not coming through on there. I don't know who this is. A phone call from Dartford. Dartford. Should I take it, do you think? Let me just get this. I don't know if they're going to be gone. Hello?
Hello there, I'm just calling from Furniture Village to arrange the delivery of your TV base and units for you.
Oh, okay. When's that?
Yeah, so if you're available on next Saturday the 13th, I can get those out to you.
That's not this Saturday, is it?
The following.
The following. Yeah, that should be fine.
Amazing. I'll book you in for then and you'll receive a 4-hour time slot with made before by text and email.
Okay, no worries, thank you. And that's just sorry, what was that for again?
So it's for the TV base and your Alforno 2-door, 1-door unit.
Cool. Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
Can I just double check quickly that we're going to ME12 4JS?
Yes, that's right. S for Sierra.
Okay. Yeah. All right, then that's all correct.
Okay.
And all booked through to the 13th.
Lovely. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Sorry about that. Good job I did take it because it was the delivery of our TV stand and units. So yeah, just confirming when it's coming. Not this Saturday coming, the following. They did say it would be kind of mid-January, so that's about bang on time, really. So we've got carpets on the 8th, wardrobes on the 9th, 11th, wardrobes on the 11th, and then TV units. I think she said 13th. Whatever it is, it's 2 Saturdays away. Wow, it's all go. Then we've got sofas. They should be roughly about the same sort of time, and then we'll be finally done. Well, almost, apart from the bedroom finished and stuff like that. So, what have you all disappeared? I haven't seen any. Haven't seen any more writing come up. Have you all fell asleep? Are you there? Is there anybody there? I don't know. Did my phone call cut you off in the end? I don't know. Cheers. I'm going to slurp this tea. Hopefully you are still there. I don't know where you are. I'll be back. So I'm not sure if you heard that one of our Yarny sisters, Teresa Patton, died. And yeah, quite sad. I mean, she was one of the first people that I kind of met when I started YouTube. Hello, Melissa. And Deanne's still here. That's good. Yeah, so that's quite sad. I don't know why. I don't know. I hadn't really seen very much of or been on anybody's live streams. I've been so busy before Christmas and over Christmas period that with all the stuff going on, I've not been in any lives or and I've not really seen Facebook, so I don't know what happened, and the reasons for it. But when I saw it, I thought, oh, that's quite sad, isn't it? Because she always used to be there commenting, and there was once when somebody was bullying her or something, and I stepped in a bit. But yeah, I hadn't seen her for a long time. I guess things change, don't they? And people get off and do other stuff, and yeah, but it is sad. Lots of sad things recently, like Madonna having her fall, or listening to my call. Yeah, it's a good job I did take it, actually. I didn't want to. It's like, oh, but I had a feeling as it was, do you like my big oversized Snuggie? Look at this. You could live in it, couldn't you? Linda sent this to me for Christmas. Linda Fairbrother. I love it. Oh yeah, I like red and white. It's kind of very cheery, isn't it? But it's freezing in here today. We haven't got the heating on or anything. We did have earlier, then it got hot. Then we went out and didn't put it back on. So I thought, rather than put the heating on, I'll just get my Snuggie on. And so here we are. It's when you put something that's really oversized on, you think, now, do I look gigantic? Or does it have the opposite effect? You know, because it is just so puffy. Maybe you don't look gigantic. I don't know. But I like the colour, like red and white. They always used to say, because my hair was red when I was young, and it only just dye all the colour out of it. And they always used to say, if you got that kind of colour hair, you shouldn't wear red. But it always suited me for some reason. Perhaps I didn't have the straightforward colouring of a person with red hair. I don't know. But I've got to listen out for the door because, there it is. I don't know if he's going to hear me. Hang on. Gary! Door! The door! It's his materials for his walls. Hey, little sis still here. That's cool. Hi, Hilda from Tennessee. Oh, you got a cup of coffee? I've got a bit of a lukewarm cup of tea now. It's not the best, sadly. It's just, my cup isn't dirty. It just looks really ew. Because it deposits it around the cup. My tea, I have it black. So if I had milk, you wouldn't get that. But I'm getting really hot now. I feel like I need to take it off. But I won't. So now the front door's open. It's probably going to get cold. But I do need to rescue my bra strap. Just bear with me. Oh, let's just check. I think I saw something else come up. Karen gave you a bit of a quiet. Gave me a bit of quiet. Love your snuggle. You like big things. Probably makes you huge, but you don't care. Hi, Anna from Malta. First time you've caught me live. Wow. Malta. What's your weather like? I'm going to have to try and get out of this because I'm getting a bit overheated. But I do have a t-shirt on. Just hopefully it won't come off at the same time because that would be disastrous. Hang on, I'll be back. Okay. Hello. I'm back. I'll just put that there. Wow, they are warm. Whew, I'm going to probably get cold now, but I can use it as a blanket if I do. Oh, wow. It's cold already. Oh, it's cold. Where are you, Hilda? It's freezing, isn't it? I mean, at the moment, it just won't stop raining. That's the worst of it. It's rain constantly in the UK. We get like a little bit of sunshine. The other day, I went on my morning vloggy chat, and I said, "Oh, the sun's come out today." And by the time I'd got off my chat and gone into the living room and was uploading it, it was raining again. So I kind of gave everybody a false sense of what it was like in here in the UK. It was horrible all day. And it's cold again now. It's got the door open. I should have left it on. Don't forget the thummies, please. Woo woo. See, I forgot to say it. Don't forget the thummies. Oh, something just flew in my eye. A bit of fluff. Probably a bit of fluff from my Snuggie. I called him Gary. Oh, maybe you did. I don't know. Well, perhaps we've ordered so much from these guys, they probably know us by name. So yeah, I don't know if it's a bit of a gloomy colour, but I don't know. I really like it. Is that all the bits?
Yeah, the wind's really strong out there now.
Is it?
Getting 50 to 70 mile an hour.
Oh, lovely. We've got 50 to 70 mile an hour winds. Hi, Rebecca. Busy mama. Caught me live, I think you mean. You fought me live. That sounds like a fight. Sounds like a good one. Sorry, I'm being silly, aren't I? So yeah, Gary has now got his DIY bits. What that is basically is panels. I'm going to put this over me now because I'm cold. Panels for the walls so that we'll have, I don't know if you saw my front room, how we did it. It's similar, but it's going to be white panels at the bottom, and then paper, the top part will be pink and sparkly. It's only my room, like my girly room. Cool in North Carolina, I think that is. At least no tornadoes like in the UK. Yeah, amazing, huh? You know, that night it was really, really ridiculously windy. And I think we must have had a small one because all of a sudden it sounded like a jet engine was above my bedroom, and then it gone. And I've heard like crazy winds before, but that was really odd. It was kind of such a rumble of a jet engine sound, and then it was over. It was gone, and just windy. So I think we must have had a mini one. Luckily, we don't have a roof to blow off. We do have a flat roof in this place, and I thought, oh, I just had this vision of rain falling on my face. But thankfully, it didn't happen. But some people lost their roofs and all sorts up there in Manchester, up to north, where it's, well, always colder, always windier. I don't know. Have you done in there now? You didn't hear me. Didn't hear me. Probably thought I was talking to you guys. Gary is deaf, and he does hear me sometimes, but he likes to be on the right because he's got a hearing aid in one ear, the other one he doesn't hear anything. So if he's not that way on to me, then he doesn't necessarily know that I'm talking to him. And he also likes to lip read, so he hates it when I talk to him as I'm walking away. He always tells me that he can't lip read bums, which, mine's quite vocal at times. You could try. Sorry. Trust me to lower the tone. No snow, not tornado season. Quiet weather-wise so far. I think we've got it all. Like Scotland had the snow. We in the southern areas have the wind, but Manchester got the tornado. Crazy. I had seen like a little funnel before pick up, like they call them dust devils, don't they? I'd seen a few of those, but we've never actually had a full-blown proper twister. Don't really want any more. I think our structures of our houses are quite sturdy. Well, this one's probably not, to be honest with you. Probably wouldn't fare too well. Would be like those when you see them in America and they're just like bits of wood all over the floor. It'd be us. High winds in Oxford. You just had a mini power cut. That's all we need, isn't it? Start losing power. But we've got, because it happens quite often here. We live on a cliff, for those of you who don't know, in the middle of nowhere, kind of a Sleepy Hollow, on a cliff in the wind, So when it gets windy here, it does tend to knock out power lines sometimes. So we have a generator out the back. It's actually Gary's brother's, and he keeps saying he wants to get his own one because if Martin has power cuts, he'll want the generator. So he likes to leave it here because it's somewhere to put it. But if we both needed it at the same time, we'd be stuck. So we do have those little gas camping stoves and some really good battery lights and things like that. So we're kind of geared up for losing power. Last year in the winter, we lost it. Was it winter? I can't remember when it was actually, but we lost power for a week. I think it was. No, it might have been in the holiday season, but I don't think it was the hot part. There was a fire. Someone set fire to a caravan in one of the holiday parks, and above it were the electric lines and the phone lines, and both went out like that, of course. But the power they could reroute. We had no internet for over a week, which was a challenge for a YouTuber. I managed to survive because I had really poor data on my phones because they live in here, you know, the signal's not good because you just, you know, don't really have masts as such, and we're kind of on the outskirts, so they don't think about us, you know, we're not in a town or a city, so our signal's always pretty poor. So I used to go out, upload it and come back and do the rest of it on the computer, but it was the only way I could actually get any videos done. You'd go to Gary's brothers and upload them because where he is, he's got lightning fast broadband. Oh, sound effects from Gary, that's nice. I forgot to shut the door. It's a very small bungalow, so if he flushes, I don't know what's happened. Oh, where's my chat gone? Hang on. Where is chat? There it is. Sorry, my phone went into one and it just did something else. You have tornado season, March to November. Snow is rather rare. Not every year. More January to February. That's when we get it, really, for us. Oh, hi, Hannah. I didn't notice you come in there. We get it. That's the sort of time we get our worst weather. Is always looking around about his trousers on now. Good job you can't see him. Where am I? It jumped. Oh yeah, January and February and March. They're our kind of crummy times. Where I took that off, I feel like my hair's all over the place now. Oh well, I only straightened it yesterday and washed it. It's looking a bit, because I keep getting rained on wherever I go. Even if it's just briefly, it's enough to send me fuzzy and icky looking. Oh, that went wrong. I'm just making, for those of you who've not been in long, I'm making a car rug. This is how far I've got, look. And I've only got 2 cakes. I don't know how far I'm going to get, but however far it goes, I can, once it's done, I can maybe, I've got some other blues. Part of it is this sort of colour that I can then start with that. What I could do is finish this cake, do the other one, end with this one, and it would tie it all together, wouldn't it? Then it would just look like a continuation. That's what I'll do. So I don't know how far I'll get with a square one, but I do need some car rugs. My cars, especially, Gary has a couple in his that I made him. I've got one which I did make as a summer wrap, but it ended up in there, and that's all I've got. I did have one, a chevron one. I made this really big purple chevron, purple and lavender chevron blanket. I'm just going to put that in my car. And I went out with my son Michael, and it was evening, and Tyler loves a blanket. That's my grandson. And it was a bit chilly, so I put it in the car for him. I've never seen it since. And I keep saying to Michael, whatever happened to my chevron blanket? I've never seen it. Are you sure you didn't take it? And I went, no, because he was asleep. And he was wrapped up in it, and I've never seen it again. It took me ages to make that thing. I've got a tutorial for it. So I often see it, the picture, thumbnail, and think, my blanket. So I've got to make more. Oh, thank you, Karen. Listen to my ads. You get tired burning your fingers when microwaving, so you're crocheting bowl cozies. Wow. Victoria, you need to make some car blankets. Yeah, you do. You know, it's nasty and cold sometimes in the car. I always think, you know, when you break down or something like that in the winter, it's always handy to have blankets in the car just in case. I was caught in the snow once at work. I was really glad of my blanket that I had in the car. Hello, Peggy. Not being notified by YouTube, even though you had your all bell. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? It is awful. I mean, I think it's just one of those things, you know, YouTube changed so much and their notification system never really works, does it? And they also have been, a few people, well, one person mostly, said, and then once I mentioned it, a couple of others mentioned it, that they found themselves unsubscribed to a few channels, even though they don't, it's not like they go in there rarely or anything. They've been purged off the channel, even though they regularly watch and contribute, like comment and stuff, and yet they do. I think it came up because I always, when I do my giveaways and I say you've got to be a subscriber, and they said, well, what happens if you were a subscriber, but YouTube were the ones that chucked you off? So I just said, well, I'll put out a little message to remind people to every now and then just check that you're still subscribed to those that you want to, see come up and that, because it just, and the notification thing is a bit hit and miss. Some people get them occasionally, some people never get them, some people get them now and then, and just crazy. So how is Harley's how is his Switch? Is it still working? You've been making a bunch of lovies to donate. Could make lovies. Never really think about those. It's just like this, isn't it? But with a head. It's just like making a big blanket or a little square one with a head. But yeah, don't really do lovies. I remember when I think it was when Charlotte had her, I think it might have been when she had Sophia. We went shopping and there was this fluffy one, and Gary bought it for her and she loved it. It was one of her favourite things. I think it was a giraffe. And I'd never seen one. Never, and she said, "What's a lovey?" And apparently that's what it was. So, has anybody heard how Madonna is? Because I haven't heard anything for a while. Oh. Thank you, Gary. Got a nice cup of tea. Wow. Just as my other one was cold and gone. So, sounds like he's on the beer, doesn't it? It's getting bigger, look. I was probably thinking I should have used a larger crochet hook with some chunky yarn, and it would have been twice the size, wouldn't it? But I need to use these cakes up. I've had them on the side for so long that yeah, they've got so many, and I've got quite a lot of I've got loads of Happy. Speaking of Madonna, that was her favourite yarn. I've got loads of Happy, a few that are called Tranquil, and I've got some Roll With It, all from, well, those ones were from Joann's. You use stuffed toys and the lovely, that's good stuffed toy, your Beanie Baby. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much really anyway, even if you did make one, is it, to make a kind of a round, like a ball, and put some eyes on it. I wanted to make those, but I must admit, even though I, saw the one that Gary got Sophia, although it was furry, it never really inspired me to make them, if you know what I mean. I'd never seen one before, and it was a bit of a, what would you do with that? What's the purpose of it? But obviously it's just tactile. Oh, you work it round a rubber band? Oh, I never thought about that. I did obviously do a scrunchie, and I worked it. Funnily enough, did you see my Christmas scrunchie that I did a tutorial for it? I normally do a right and a left-handed, but I couldn't do left-handed ones because of the DIY disruption and everything. Well, I made one for Christmas, and the exact same thing, only with bright colours instead. Jan Carruthers sent me a picture of it and said, well, I won't be paying that. She said something like, oh, maybe I should make these for my craft fairs and charge this much. She said, mind you, I have trouble getting a couple of pounds for them. And when I looked, it was something like £350 from Moo's. You know the one they did the bucket hat, and I copied the bucket hat. I didn't do the tutorial in the end. I know Jane kept asking me to, but I didn't. I wasn't that fussed by the actual. Well, I'll see if I can show you it. Here we are. Look, so £346, and there's the scrunchie. Very similar to the Christmas one I made, only obviously not colourful, just Christmassy. But look at that. Isn't that ridiculous? And you know, you bet your life there are some people who've bought that. Amazing, isn't it? The pattern is by Zelda. When I saw Zelda, I thought it was a computer game you were talking about. Only because my son was playing or was showing me his Zelda game yesterday. Not the right Zelda. So yeah, I've seen, I mean, there's loads of them, isn't there? Madonna used to make lots of lovies. But I don't really know people with lots of babies. Whether she just donated them, or I don't know, she might have done. But I've got, for Christmas, I've got some yarn dyeing kits. And so I'm going to have a little go at yarn dyeing. It'll be my first ever attempt to dye yarn. I've got 3. So at least one of them should turn out all right. The first one is my learning curve. The second one will be my improver. So hopefully the third one will be good. You know, all the things I've learned along the way. Oh, wow. I'm gonna come out of this. Oh, hang on. Use thick hair tie to make you lovey. That's what I did. With that scrunchie, I will use one of those thick hair ties. Well, I've got to come out of that and come back in because it went a bit iffy. So when I think that was because I had that phone call. But let's do it. Let's do it. I had a song from Victoria Wood pop in my head then. I won't sing it because it's a bit rude. Okay. There we go. No, that's not what I'm doing at all, is it? I want this. Shocking. What are you doing? I was trying to upload something. Instead of going into... So used to uploading a video. Here we go. I'm back. Okay. Right. All caught up. Wish I had a scrunchie now. My hair's getting on my nerves. Just a bit. Hi, Teresa. Adverts keep popping down. Annoyingly. Yeah, I wish I had one of those. I use the ones like this, but it broke. Look. I hate it when they do that. And in the past, I'll have bought a pack and they'll be all different colours. And the one that I really wanted the most, the first time I try and put it on, it does that. It just snaps. So obviously, they're no good. And that was the only one I had in here at the time. So back to the crochet. So what are you all making? Have you got anything on the go at the moment? Or several things on the go at the moment? Or no crojo? I haven't done anything for a little while. I had plans. I had plans for Christmas tutorials and stuff. But then I got that awful virus and so many things then just happened. Hospital visits from Gary, got his kidney stones, and Michael ended up with 2 trips to the hospital, and it just flew by the time, and I didn't get a chance to do them in the end. Every year, every single year, something conspires to stop me from doing my Christmas tutorials and stuff. It just doesn't matter what it is, you know, something comes along. Rainbow corner to corner blanket made with James C. Brett Swirly Whirly. I've got one of those there. And I'm going to stock it in my shop because I I bought that. You know, when I did the yarn quests, I used to go and visit yarns. I will start that up again in the new year. I know it is the new year now, but you know what I mean, when the holiday and stuff's all over. When I find my yarn shops. And I bought a few different brands, and I was going to stock with a view to whether I might want to stock them. So I do stock James C. Brett. So I will. Oh, oopsie. I will maybe get the swirly whirlies. I did sign in and nearly bought them. That's the volcanic bath bomb. Oh my god. Look, looks like blood, but it's not. It's just a volcanic bath bomb. Bless him. Oh, hang on, I've got more to look at. I'll have to do that after. And you love it. An infinity scarf. It is a very unpredictable busy season. It's very annoying when it happens though. Lovely yarn to work with. I'll keep a lookout for it in my shop. Yeah. No, we'll be getting it soon. I will. It's just that before Christmas, I took the opportunity to stock up on some accessories. And while I was doing that, because my next promotion, because you know I do like voucher codes now and then, my next one's going to be a free crochet hook. And it's a bit like, you know, it's a bit like these. It's an ergonomic one, but it's a Knit Pro. And I bought a kind of a big batch of them. I haven't got any in here. I took them all out to the yarn van. So yeah, I bought a big batch of them so that I could do that. And I thought at the time maybe I should do knitting needles, crochet hooks, you know, a bit of each. But I've got, at the moment, I've got my web designer, Chris. We both do it together. I upload the products and I get him to change stuff. And he keeps me on the right track as well. So I got him to design a new pop-up that explains that. So as soon as it's done, I will then put the hooks on as my next kind of promotion. And I forgot what I was saying now. Oh yeah, so I also bought some bags, you know, like yarn bags, project bags, crochet hook, knitting needle cases, that sort of thing. So they've all been uploaded. And I-cord knitters, because they are so popular. As soon as they come in, they go out. So I wanted to restock on the I-cord knitter, which reminds me, I need to put one back on eBay, because I always have one of those on eBay. Cheers, guys. It might be a bit hot, actually. Tetley tea fork. So, yeah, that was what I was doing before Christmas. So I thought after Christmas, maybe I'll get some swirly whirly. But yeah, I'll probably do that soon. You crochet kitchen towel holders for your daughters for Christmas. So that's nice. I actually didn't crochet a present for anyone this year. Normally, I do a bit of, you know, Christmas gifts. But I was going to, I mean, last year I started making something. And I had every intention of finishing them and doing a tutorial for it this year. But like I say, got ill and everything went a bit. And I was going to do another hot water bottle stroke gift bag, because you can use it for both. I was going to do another one that I'd had an idea to make. Plus I thought I would make a different Christmas stocking. But my my Christmas hat was very popular this year. Got lots and lots and lots of views. And lots of positive feedback. You know the one I mean? I did a stripy one, or a just a red one. And Gary wears that. He wears it to work. He had it last year, and then I had to repair the bobble, because I think he was a bit rough with it at one point and the bobble got a bit loose. But I repaired the bobble this year and he took it back for wearing while he was at work. Getting there, look. Not big enough yet. It's quite thin, this yarn, actually. I was quite surprised. You crochet. Hello, Scraptastic Crocheter. This is meant to be a 3-weight, but it is really thin. I think. It's quite on the thin end of 3. But so it's not making a very chunky blanket, but it'll do for the car. It'll do. And I'm using a 4.5 crochet hook. I didn't want to go down any lower because then it would just be really, really thin and small stitches. But you know, it's a lot thinner than I'd like, which is it's unusual, isn't it? The mandala ones are not normally thin, I don't think. I used one to make the summer wrap, which you can double up as a blanket for your knees, and that was lovely and thick. Hello, hello. Everybody saying hello. Don't forget the thummies. So yeah, I've kind of got a few things that I need to finish and do. Remember, was in here. I'm not sure if it still is. Mustn't knock that on the floor. That'd be messy. It looked like a lei, you know, like a garland, and I used that kind of ruffle yarn sort of thing, and it was really pretty, and I was going to do that as a knitted tutorial over on Hobby Rocks, which is the same name as my shop, but it's a knitting channel. I haven't done much over there yet, but I was going to do that. And then I was going to make a ruffled scarf on this channel in crochet. So I need to do that. And there was a few other things. I wanted to do another hat. I wanted to do a chunky hat. But I'm very fussy when it comes to hats. You know, there's an awful lot of hats as tutorials out there. And I've made a few from quite a cross section of YouTubers. And whenever I make them, they don't fit me. You know, I use the yarn, the right size, the crochet hook, and yet they're huge and never seem to fit properly. So if I'm going to do it, I like it to actually fit well. You know, so I do an awful lot of messing around getting it right first. So that was the problem with the bucket hat. Whenever I made it, one was huge, one was just, I don't know if I like them floppy like that. That's the thing. But yeah, we'll do. I'll probably do a bucket hat coming up for the summer. You know, try and get ahead of the game for a change rather than chasing my tail. So did you do anything nice over the holiday? Did you go out for meals, parties or anything? We've got a meal to go to before our diet starts, because boy, does that need to start. Gary wants to go to Vegas, and so I said to him, if we do, then we need to get on the diet, because there is no way that I want to go to Vegas unless I've lost a good amount of weight. And so it hopefully will be an incentive to stick to it, because there's you know, so we might do that this year, because he really wants to do it, and he's been saying it for the last couple of years that he wants to go back and do a Vegas. So we'll probably put a deposit on it and start paying that off. Hi, Chris Loves Crochet. Happy New Year. You're going out for... No going out for you, other than lights and such. Oh, none of the kids were able to come home. Oh, that's sad. We went out and see some Christmas lights at Leeds Castle, and I was going to do a short or two and show what they were like. But they had such loud music, and you know what it's like? As soon as you put music on, you get hit by a "this is copyrighted," and it was classical music, but straight away, I went, "This is copyrighted," and I thought, how can it be? How can you recognise that group? You know, that band or orchestra? How can you recognise the orchestra? You know, if you kind of recognise the artist, but can you recognise the orchestra? And who's got the rights to ancient music? You know, I mean, it's not like it's classical music. You know, Chopin don't get the royalties anymore. You know, just saying. So yeah, anyway, I didn't put them up because I couldn't. I don't know how to record it silent and put my own soundtrack on later. But it was a bit. It's a shame really because it's nice. They do all these bonfire, you know what they were, fireworks to music and all of that, but you can't show it because it's just, you know. And they have drones and really pretty lights and all this stuff, and the castle backdrop all lit up and projected on the castle. It's really nice, but I couldn't show anyone, unfortunately. I could put it on Facebook, but that's about it. But you know, as soon as it comes anywhere near, and everywhere you went, you know, if you kind of, they had a chandelier walk, and there was all these pretty chandeliers, and then as you go down there, it's got Dean Martin playing. So again, that's copyrighted, and well, just don't know where you go. There was no escape from music. But very, very pretty. Freezing, absolutely bitterly cold that night, and windy, but it was nice. Nice to, and especially as at that time we couldn't put any lights up of our own. And for the longest time we had no tree or lights up because of all the work that was going on in the house. So it didn't feel Christmassy at all, even though everybody was starting to put the lights up in their house, and when you go out you see them. And none of our towns have very good lights anymore. We used to, when I was young, you'd go out and you'd see all the Christmas lights in all the villages and towns. Now, you're lucky if it's a swirl ribbon with a star. And it seems to me as if they do these lights because they think we can't have a Santa, it will offend other faiths. We'll have lights that are generic, that are just pretty, but no one can complain about. Well, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. You know, I want a Santa. I want a tree. I want to see it. You know, I don't begrudge other faiths with their culture and having their lights, their festival of lights, or whatever, you know, festivals they have, and whatever feasts they do. They can have that. I don't begrudge anybody doing it, but when it comes to Christmas lights, they should be Christmas, not a bit of ribbon with a star. You know, stick 'em. I say. You don't even look pretty. You drive down the street, you wouldn't even notice them really because they're not even that bright. Oh, I'm whinging. I'm really whingy. I know, but I just think it's gone crazy. You know, all this, we can't have that. You know, people wouldn't like it. I don't care. They don't have to look, do they? That's what I say. Claptrap. You happy for the distraction? Go. Like to hear that. Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? The copyright thing. Hi, Yolanda. Yeah, I know. People are, aren't they? People are just waiting to be offended by something. I've got up really early this morning. I put the TV on, and they were talking about, what were they talking about? It was something. Oh, hang on. Let me think. Let me get this right. It was to do with global warming and what they were talking about. They had two people on there, and one was an activist, and the other one comes from a bit of a scummy news channel on YouTube. They don't, not even mainstream, but they are quite offensive with the things they say. You know, they're the sort of news channel that will really trash Harry and Meghan, whether, you know, and it's to the point where it just sounds like maybe that news is made up because it's just the way they say it. It's almost like we're telling it like it is, but you're not. You're kind of saying it in such a way that makes you think, oh. And so there was, these two both were a bit nuts. And he had the actual moral high ground because he was he was a geologist and he knew what he was talking about. And this other woman, she, every time he said something or, you know, answered her back, she went, I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. And I thought, no, because you haven't got a clue what you're talking about. That's probably why, you know. But yeah. But it is though, isn't it? Everywhere you look, it's someone offended by this and someone whinging and complaining about that. There's no live and let live anymore, or I don't know. Hello, Dinky Crafts, Jennifer. Happy New Year to you too. Off to the car shop and the cinema. So car shop, are you buying one or getting one fixed? And I hope you can see something good at the cinema. Gary wanted to see something a little while ago. Can't remember what it is now. Nelson, I think it was. Was it Nelson? He really wanted to see that, but it was all at the wrong time. You know, over Christmas when you're really busy and we couldn't fit it in. But yeah, we got the cinema card, so we really should have tried to go and see it. But if he's off, he's kind of DIY-ing and never really got the time. I do have another blanket that I'm on the go with, but that's in the yarn van. So if I leave that one there and I ever do a live out there, I can just pick that one up. It's easier that way. That way maybe I'll get two finished. You never know. Never know. I think this one's going to take ages. It's just such a thin yarn. Have a good time. I think she must have gone. Don't know what film she's seeing. But we watched a few films over the last few days. Ones we've seen though, really. We watched Bullet Train the other day. And I hadn't seen it for a long time. That was actually quite good. Second time round. And we watched Luther, and we saw that at the cinema, and we haven't watched it since. And but it's always good for Gary to watch them, you know, at the cinema, but then come home and watch them when they come out because of the hearing aid thing, so he can read the subtitles should he need it, because sometimes you watch it and the dialogue's pretty quiet at that point, and then they don't even look at the camera, they're looking at something else, so he'd miss that completely. So it's good for him to watch it. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not offended by, you know, any of those Jewish festivals or Hindu festivals of light and Diwali, you know, all of that. I'm not offended by it. I don't mind. In fact, I think we've got like a temple in Dartford, and I was where I work, and you could see it above the housetops, you know, the rooftops, and I'd be looking out the window and I think, oh, that looks amazing. And it'd be all lit up. It'd be beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But, you know, it doesn't offend me. I don't want to get rid of it. Just, if I want a big fat Santa and a great big gaudy Christmas tree, then I should have it, shouldn't I, really? We should be able to have that in our towns. That's what I'm saying. Not some stupid symbol. Cheers, guys. I have to say, Gary bringing me that tea in it has distracted me from my huge blanket. Not enjoying this yarn. It's so thin. I don't like thin yarn. When I was younger and I learnt to crochet, I used to use 4-ply most of the time, which across the pond is a sport weight. And I used that all the time, really. The little yarn shop that we used to go to in town, they had DK, but I always thought of it as quite fat yarn. And then chunky was, well, why would you want to make anything that fat, you know? And now the DK is the thin yarn to me, and chunky is okay, and you know, it's not that fat. But it's weird because it did seem really, really chunky back then. But I always used a 3.5375 crochet hook and 4-ply. Everything was so much daintier, you know. If I made any baby clothes, they were always so nice and dainty because of it. But very rarely see that yarn now. You know, when you talk about yarn shops, you walk in and it is predominantly DK in this country. Yeah, we've got a bit more like chunky, but Aran used to just be the cream and sort of brick red and blues of farmers or fishermen's jumpers. But, you know, since the advent of YouTube and everything else, and we get nice Aran 4-weight yarn now. But you won't, in shops like our high street shops, you won't go in and ever see a 4-weight that looks nice. They have some in pound stretcher, but it's never that great, you know, really. Not like this yarn that I sell in my shop, or if I had a bricks and mortar shop, then I would stock it and sell it in my shop. Just a big square now. Let's have a look. 4ply's your favourite? Eyes are not so good. You love old-fashioned gaudy Christmas. Me too. Yeah, I don't like... I think it's the thin hooks that actually play havoc with my hands these days. Only because I've got used to using thicker, and I've now got used to using these things. Whereas before I only ever used the metal hooks. But now if I try and use those, I feel like my hands are too scrunched together. It's weird how you get used to these things very quickly. And it becomes the new kind of norm, if you like. Hang on, I messed up my first stitch. I quite often do. Yeah, I kind of, instead of going through 2 and then through 2, I end up going through 3 and then 1. It's only because it's so thin. Can't see what I'm doing. I've got new glasses. Oh, what a fiasco that was. Now, I think I wasted my money, to be honest with you, because I don't believe that I actually need glasses at all. These are the reading glasses. They weigh an absolute ton. They do. Now, if I put them on, I can see really well. But if I look down, are these the reading glasses? Yeah. After a while, they're just down here because they're so heavy. I'm always hiking them up. Now, I've got a pair of Hugo Boss ones that are in there because I can read with them, but they're for the computer and they're nowhere near as heavy. And I can actually read with them as well. So these were complete and utter waste of money. And then I've got this pair. So I've got three pairs of glasses. The only decent pair are the ones for the computer, and I can read with them as well, if I want. And then I've got these. And I don't know if you can see, but they've got a coating on. They've got a bit of fingerprints as well, but they've got an anti-glare. And they're supposedly good for driving and distance. When I got them, right, he did my eye test and he went, well, you don't actually need glasses for driving. Don't really need glasses then, do I? You know what I mean? Why would I need them? Because the only time that you really need to wear distance glasses, if you need glasses, is when you're driving. The rest of the time, you know, everything's fine, isn't it? You can go without them. You're not. I don't even need them for watching telly. I don't need them for anything. So why do I need them? You know, is that a waste of money? I got them though, and they react to light. So I figured if I do wear them in the summer, if I'm driving, I want the anti-glare. They'll at least react to light and they'll look like sunglasses. But I can't envisage wearing them really. If I don't need them for driving, I can't envisage wearing them. What would I need them for? And then the reading glasses, I can't read with them because you look down at your book and then they fall off your face. And it's like the biggest waste of money that I've had this year has been these glasses. I should have just said I'll have one pair for the computer. If I knew what I knew then, that's all I would have got. Because it's all I really need. Is that I was doing my stock take earlier, and I could put them on now and then just to make sure I'm getting the right numbers. And you know, eyes get tired after a while. And if I'm reading people's addresses from who make an order, you know, sometimes I'll pop that on just to make sure I've got the right numbers and the right postcode and that sort of thing. Some things are easier to read than others, but yeah, the only pair that I think I really weren't a waste of money were those. The other two, complete and utter waste of money. You can't see either. Oh, it's terrible when you get older, isn't it? And your eyesight starts waning. Take them back and tell them you can't see properly and they have to recheck. I think I need to just take them back and get a really small pair of reading glasses that are not heavy then, so they don't fall off my face, because they're quite large, and that's I think the problem, because you know, the bigger the lens, and the fact that they're, you know, they're glass lenses, they actually might be perspex, but they're still really thick and they're heavy, so I do need to do something about those, or just get a really cheap, I might even go in there with like they've got free frames or cheap frames, and just get a pair of reading glasses that are really small. So that's all I need them for. Hi Donna, welcome. Don't forget the thumbie. You've had 4 surgeries and you still can't see well. What surgeries did you have? Yeah, I know what you mean. Swapping between them. Thin the lenses down, that will reduce the weight. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they had to be that thick, but she said that they will be thicker because of the reading glasses. You know, my reading vision is worse now. I used to have poor distance vision, and I had my eyes lasered, and for years and years and years I had 20/20 vision, but now I've got like 20/22 or something, and one eye obviously isn't as good as the other, and plus I have an astigmatism. But yeah, total waste of money. Only one pair isn't, but I will go in there and get some like this big, like little tiny reading glasses, because the only thing I need to see is the actual word on the page at the time, and not the rest of the world around me. So I shouldn't have got those gigantic ones. They're not that gigantic, I know, but they are quite big, and they're just very thick. Look at that. Look how thick they are. Like the bottom of a milk bottle, aren't they? It's so bad. It's like I think they were that bad. Probably not. But you know. And when they said, as soon as he said you don't actually need glasses for driving, I should have said, well, I won't get them then. I won't get the distance. Don't need them then. Because, you know, if I needed them for driving, that's a benchmark to me. It says, yes, your sight ain't great. You need, Gary's having a bath now. Let's hope he doesn't do anything untoward, like burp, fart, or, you know. Trust me, lower the tone. Hang on a minute. You don't have to do that sort of thing manually. Oh, that ain't the right one, is it? That ain't what I pressed. You know what it is? It's upside down. Is it? No, it's not. Oh, hang on a minute. I like that one. Which is it? Oh, wow, that paint is really strong. It's not. Shut the door. Where is it gone? There it is. That's the one. There is another one. Not that one. Normally hang on. There it is. I do love this thing. Stupid. I don't know how long I've been on. Oh, I have to shut that door. Hi Paula. Welcome. Sorry, I had a bit of a burp and fart fest then. I will not do that again. And a clap fest, which sounds bad. So I've been crocheting. I'm doing a little car rug. Look how far I've got. Not very at all. And Gary's been painting and he's left the door open. It's really strong. Are you off, Hannah? Thanks for coming. Have a good evening. I don't know what time it is where you are. Simple pleasures are the best. Absolutely. I'm easily amused too. For sure. These have been were causing quite a stir on the run up to Christmas and everything. This is what I should have got, reading glasses, isn't it, really? Because then, mind you, if those frames had been in, those lenses had been in these frames, wow, that would have weighed a ton. But yeah, I kind of like these. They strangely suit me, which is a bit bizarre. More than glasses do. Just saying. Wish you had Neanderthal vision gene. Their eyes were bigger and their eyesight was at least 50% better than ours. They could probably see better in the dark as well. I think they'd need to, wouldn't they? Didn't exactly have any light bulbs, did they? Cheers. I'm going to slurp this because it's getting cold. It's not cold yet, I don't want it to get cold. I've been having a bit of a problem with my lips. I keep getting, not like dry skin, but broken skin, you know what I mean? They're not chapped, but they're kind of, they've always got skinning, peeling lips. Oh. I've been using some lip oil. I don't know if that's the reason. And it's renewing the skin on my lips. Maybe that's what it is. But whenever I use it, I just feel like it gives me a bit of a pout for about 5 minutes. They do suit me, don't they? It's a bit weird. Maybe I should have been Dame Edna Everage in another life. But yeah, they do. I noticed that. Bit weird. Maybe I should get bright green gaudy glasses. Perhaps that should have been what I did. Tea's all gone. Finally. I'm getting hot again now. So Snuggy can trouble is, as soon as you move it, it's like, oh, it's a bit chilly around the legs now. It is very thick. Very, very warm. I've got about 5 of them now. I only had one last year, and blue one that Gemma got me with stars on it, but now I've got quite a few. But you need them here. I tell you, it really does get by the sea and on the cliff. It gets really cold. Hang on, I just did a chain where I didn't need one. I keep forgetting I'm only doing half a corner, so it's seamless. And I nearly did a whole corner. That would have not gone at all well. I could have bodged it rather than undo it. So my question to you guys is then, when you're crocheting and you notice something like that, like you've made a little mistake and it's for you, do you frog it and put it right, or do you think, I can bodge that? I can easily bodge that. Terry! Woo woo! Oh, bye Anna. Thanks for coming. Good to see you. Hope you all, whoever's leaving has a lovely new year. I forgot to say that before. I forget that it's New Year. Actually, all the way up till now, when I've been referring to 2024 and been writing it down or whatever, I've done it right. And I actually wrote in my order book today, my first order, and I put 2023 and then I had to do a squiggly 4. Yeah, my first order of 2024. Maybe I'll put something extra in there and let them know. But I've got 4 to package up now. I'll have to do that before it gets dark, mind you. Might be dark in a minute, actually. It's pretty grim out there. You frog it every time. It annoys you if you make a mistake. And Teresa says, not if I can get by with it. That's a girl after my own heart, that one. And an ad for a bra pops up. Nice. It depends on what it is and where it is in the project. Most of the time, you do frog your mistakes. Oh, for everyone else, you frog it, though. Yeah. Me, I'll bodge it. And if it's for someone else and I can bodge it, that they won't notice, then I bodge it. But if I'll tell you what, I actually did a big blanket once. And when I looked at it, it was Granny. And one of these, instead of having 3, had 2. And I thought, oh. And it was, quite a long way. And I'd done the border as well. And it was right in there. So I actually fed yarn through there, made a stitch, and then fed that stitch through there and sewed it in, and no one could ever see it. I actually added a stitch. Oh, if I can get away around having to undo my work, oh God, that's, what on earth is that? Hang on a sec. Something untoward has happened in my yarn. I seem to have, it wasn't a knot, it was a big loop. Goodness me. That was scary. Hi Debbie, caught me live. I'm so excited. Oh no, I better not do that after what I said about getting done for copywriting, although that wouldn't really bear any resemblance to the actual song. Um, what's that? About you frog some, if it's too far back, you'll put up with it, unless it's too noticeable. Little sis, hate to do it to everyone, but Dr. Killjoy's here now. Everyone have a joyful and blessed day. Latest folk. Who's Dr. Kill? Oh, is it? Is it? Isn't? No, probably not. So you're in New York. What is the weather like where you are? It's horrible here. Very, very windy and rainy and horrible and cold. The Afghan you made has a couple of leg stitches in it. You just did that yesterday on the lovey. Well, added a stitch in. Feed the yarn through, make a stitch, feed it through. Yeah, I've done that myself. Honestly, if there's a way I can bodge something, then it will get bodged. I can't bear frogging. A little while ago, when I was designing something, I did quite a bit of frogging for me, to get it how I wanted it, and that is just so unlike me to frog. You know, it's almost like it's an attack upon my person to actually frog my work. So I went through all that to get there, and oh, the colour is changing colour. 37 degrees, but the sun is out finally. Oh, we haven't had the yellow ball for a while. I think somebody put the light out in our sunshine. It's definitely gone out. But it needs a new bulb, I think. It's just non-existent. Non-existent. All we've got is wind, rain, and more wind and more rain. Massive, gigantic puddles up the road there. They're so big, they're like little lakes. Got a few little lakes along our road, because we've got an unmade road, and I can't see now. I've got a very low down car, and I can't see the best route across them. See, there's quite a lot of holes and ruts. So if I can see the best route across, it doesn't scrape the underside of my car. But because they're so big, I can't see them now. And so I drive over them and it goes underneath the car. It's luckily it's just the cover. It's not actually scraping the engine. Oh, mind you, it's probably scraped the cover off. It's awful out there. It is. You learn to fudge on your first and real project and never look back. Just noticed I missed a stitch on the king size blanket I'm working on, but it's about 10 rows back, so it's going to stay there. Like I said, you can always insert the yarn. If the stitch was missed there, you just insert the yarn along here, make a stitch, and then just, you know, feed it through. You know, hide the yarn tail. Easy speedy lemon squeezy. Don't even frog an old project that you've grown tired of. No, neither do I. It's very cold and windy today. Boy, it's mega windy here. Started to use chunky yarn, so you can just say fudge instead of frogging. Fudge? You started using chunky yarn, so you can just say fudge instead of frogging. Do you not frog funky? Funky yarn. Why is it not frogging it if it's chunky? I don't get that one. I have to explain it to me. You have to explain it to me. You know, we got UFOs, unfinished objects, FOs, finished objects. We got PhDs now, you know. It's on every one of my chats, it's an explanation at the bottom. A PhD is a project I've done. A PhD, I've got quite a lot of PhDs. It makes me sound very, very intelligent, even though it's not the case at all. Yeah, several PhDs, in fact. I need to start doing them and getting them gone. That's what I need to do. So normally I'll do a couple of videos in a day. I'll do my chat and then I'll make a proper video, proper video, you know, like another thing. And so today I thought I suppose I have got yarn I can show. I've got a whole yarn van full of them. But I thought rather than do that, I will do a live. And I know that I really need to do live streams for Rocksteady because I'm less than 150 away from being monetized on that channel now. It's really getting close, and that's where I need to do the live streaming to get the numbers so that I can finally get monetized on Rocksteady. So if anybody has any spare time, that little channel needs a bit of love because it's almost there now, almost there. So that's where I was going to do it, but I thought, no, I'll do one on Crochet Rocks, and I'll make a blanket while I'm here gas bagging, because you know the car does need some. In fact, my poor car that scrapes the road. I'm going to start going the other way now because the other direction doesn't have such bad bumps and bad puddles, but it seems like that unmade bit goes on a lot longer. So although this way is bad, that way is a long kind of, you know, and it never ends. It seems to never end. Obviously it does, but I'm going to have to go that way because it don't scrape that side. But my poor car is full of junk. It really is. It so needs cleaning out because when I first moved here and I moved all my stuff out the house, I didn't have anywhere to put it all. And there's still stuff in there from then. And at one point I had an old baby buggy, which is a stroller, you know, and all that sort of stuff in there. But that's now gone to the tip. But there is, I think, in there a hamper and some, well, probably some old stuff. If I haven't touched it in all this time, you know what? I don't really need it, do I? So I'm going to have to, when the weather stops raining, go out there and finally clean out the boot of my car. And I'll probably find stuff like, I don't know, I forgot I had that blanket or whatever, but yeah, and I do need to do it because it is, you know, whenever we go anywhere, I always think, oh, can't get much shopping in that car because it's always full of, it's just full of stuff that, and the amount of times we've been to the tip, I could have got rid of most of it. I've got some of it gone, but I do need to do the rest. It's just full of junk, mostly in the boot. But it's not good. It's definitely not good. You do not for a chunky because you really can't see the mistakes. Oh, okay. Just fudge it and move on. All right, I get you now. Love the live video, but you need to go. Oh, okay, Hilda. Thank you for coming. Good to see you. Oh, yours cleaned yours out for me. I can't trust Gary to clean it out for me. I'll throw stuff away that I want. I'm terrible, really. You know, I think, right, I'm going to be mercenary and I'm going to get rid of this and get rid of that. I even had an Addy knitting machine that had something wrong with it. So when you turn the handle, it would lock. And I couldn't, there's no way of freeing it. So I had it apart, I looked at it, I couldn't see where the key was sticking, and I'd turn the handle and it'd go, and it would be like that. So I thought, oh, I could put it on eBay and sell it for spares. Or I could just take all the pegs out and keep them as spares. And it just got moved from place to place. And I put it in the bin the other day. I just thought, you know what, it's going straight. I'll just move it around. It's no good to anybody. So I thought, okay. It just went in the recycling bin because it's all plastic. And finally threw it away. But it's been there for like 2-3 years. You know, just getting moved from one place to the other. But always, whenever I go to throw stuff away, I look at it and think, I might use that. You know, and I just get, I can't say I'm a hoarder, but, you know, I'm one of these people that thinks the day I throw that away is the day I'm going to want it. And it's because I've done it before, you know, thrown something out and then thought, oh, I had one of those. Terrible. You move things from the front of the car by the driver's seat to the back to the drive boot, and that is when you know finally you need to clean the car out. Yeah, me too. That's what I was just saying. Every time I throw it away, I've had this for years, don't need it, chuck it away. And then suddenly I think, oh, I had one of those. And I threw it away. So, you know, and there's always something like, I'll find this piece of padding and I think, you know what? If I were to make a bag, that would be really good for making it sturdy. I'll keep that, but don't make the bag, you know. And then I've got all this sturdy padding. I thought that a little while ago. Oh, if I make a beach bag, that would be great to put within the liner so that it had more padding. And you could even make one of those baby changing bags, you know, or something like that, because it's brilliant for that. Didn't use it. Didn't use it. I don't know. One of these days, maybe. I'm always full of good ideas. You know, it's like my sewing machine. Bought a sewing machine last year. Was it last year? Maybe even, I don't know. I think it might have been the summer before. And got this thing. Gary's son, Jamie, he makes costumes, like really good costumes for Comic-Con and things like that. And he came down and he's, because it was different from the old-fashioned job that I had when I was younger, he threaded it with me and showed me a few things on it. And I've never had it out the case. Gary bought me a case for Christmas for it. Never had it out the case. And it's one of those with wheels, like a trolley dolly type case. And it's still threaded with that same yarn that Jamie put in it for me. And I had a massive sewing job to do the other week, a repair job. And not once did I use it. I just did it all by hand. But then, to be fair, I thought that was a bit of a hard task to do that by sewing machine anyway. You just never know when you need it. I know, that is the trouble. I know, I do it all the time, You've got to clean your office. Marty says that it's your hoarding spot. Had a good look at it and he's right. Have a bit of everything back there and might use it again one day. It's the truth though, isn't it? I mean, I've got some plastic drawers here. One's blue, red, orange and yellow. They're lovely drawers. They are kind of, I've got them at home base. They're really snazzy. And the bottom one is full of books that I do giveaways for. I bought a whole pack, a big wad of these books, and I do them as giveaways now and then. One's got all my Christmas stuff in it, like this, because you don't need that every day. You actually only need it once a year, so that's there. And this one's got some patterns in it and a couple of old phones and pens. And I don't even know what the top one's got in. It actually has things like those things that everybody used to buy, and you can charge them up, and then when you're out and your phone's getting low, you can plug into it and it charges your phone a bit, like a charge bank. Got a couple of those. I bought one on the plane. Looks like a compact, so it's got a mirror so you can do stuff with it, and it happens to charge your phone at the same time. Never used it. It's just in there. Most gadgets and gizmos that you get or buy, you think, oh, that'll be handy. Never touch it again. Lose the lead that charges it. Can't remember how to work it. But do we throw them away? No, because they cost us money and we think, oh, I'll use that. I'll find the thing. I'll brush up on what to do with it. No. Just sits in the drawer, taking up space. I'm on another colour now. Look at that. So I don't know how long I've been on for, but I'm going to have to get off soon. I've got to make dinner. As Gary's doing all the DIY stuff. I shall have to... I'm having pasta today. We had lots and lots of good, wholesome, meaty dinners recently. We had lamb and pork. We've had we had a 3-bird roast. We had a turducken. We like that sort of thing every now and then. We had a turkey. Well, we had a chicken crown. We had 2 chicken crowns actually, because it was meant to be for when we had people over for dinner, and that didn't come off, so we ended up eating them ourselves. So we've had a ham joint, all kinds of really, really nice, lots of lamb. We had minty lamb a couple of times. So yeah, lots of good wholesome meals. But one thing we haven't had is any pasta. I was going to make a curry, but I didn't even do that because we had chicken crowns instead. But I figured we're trying to use up all of the things that we can't have on our diet, like the chicken crown had stuffing in it. So, you know, we knew we needed to use that up, so it would be a good idea to get rid of it. So we're trying to do that, but good old-fashioned spag bowl today. Spaghetti bolognese and garlic bread. So it'd make a nice change from all the roasts and like we had steak as well. So we had lots and lots of hearty, meaty dinners. Be good to have something different. I'm gonna it's growing. It's gonna take longer now to get round and stuff like that. But I'm determined to get a few done. I've got loads of cakes of yarn. I've got really bright ones. I've got one that's kind of got this colour and teal, which once this cake's run out, I'm going to put that one in the middle. That way it'll get a bit bigger. I may even have 2 of those, not sure. In which case I can alternate them. And I think it will break up the gloomy colours on this one quite nicely, kind of make it pop a little bit more. Hang on, I saw some chats. Gotta go, Teresa. Thank you very much for coming. I'm gonna go myself soon because I've been yammering. Oh, Jennifer, what was that? You don't like throwing stuff out either? Yeah, always need another use. A vital piece goes missing. Oh, all the time. Mine don't exactly go missing as get hidden by Gary. Like I had a ninja, and it was a 9-in-1, and this ninja was the first of its kind, really. And I bought this blessed thing, and the box was gigantic. Gary decided it took up too much space, so he took it out the box, and I'd never used it. And at one point we were going to give it to Jamie because I just thought I'd never use it. So he took it out of the box, and then everyone kept saying they're really, really great, these ninjas. They're really good for reducing your electricity bill, blah blah blah. So I thought I'll use the ninja. No book anymore, no instructions, so no recipe book, no instructions, and no of any of the kind of stuff that comes with it. You know, no other lid. I had to hunt down everything, and eventually some of it had found its way out into the caravan when it was a storage place. Found all the bits, didn't find the book for ages, so I had to learn how to use it from videos on YouTube or looking it up, and I started using it. I hadn't used it for 3 years. I'd had the thing for 3 years. They'd made newer ones by that time. They made an 11-in-1 or 13-in-1, whatever it was. My sister had one, and she'd bought one and used it loads, and I still hadn't even used my old one. So I figured, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna have to do it. So I started using that, and I got so into it, and I got one of those that's like an oven now, and one with the 2 drawers. So I gave Paul and Victoria my other one because, you know, I don't want 3 ninjas, and the other one did have a slow cooker in it, pressure cooker, which I did use loads, and also it was like an air fryer, and did 9 things. But you know, they take up an awful lot of space on the worktop. So yeah, that one's gone now. But yeah, vital piece always goes missing with Gary. I tell you, when the other day, I opened the cupboard where we've got new plates. We had to get new plates because so many had broken. So I opened the cupboard, and in there was a cake tin that had, you know, where you cook fairy cakes, like buns, one of those, and a loaf tin that I'd made a cake in. And I thought, why have you put it in there? Because you can't put it in the actual cupboard that it belongs in. That's too much of a faff. So I just shove it in there. And then you open another one and all this stuff in it. Why is this in here? So I have to go and tidy up after his tidying up. And I just said to him, put it in the right place. You know, just saying. But yeah, vital things always go missing when you've got a Gary. That's for sure. You can't change your mind once you do. That's true enough. I can never remember. We've got two bins, right? We have a bin and then we have the recycling bin. And every week one gets emptied and then the next week it's the other one. And I can never remember which one's going, you know. So I can't remember if it's the household bin or if it's the recycling bin. And then one time I'll see the dust cart go by and they'll pick up the blue bin. And I think, oh, right. So it's recycling. So next week, I must remember, next week's the other bin. But then I'm long gone, forgotten, you know. And still, I never know which bin's going when. That's the trouble. Good morning, Tammy. Well, hello to you. Good to see you. Oh, yeah. It's awful when bits go missing. Yeah, you throw the actual thing away and then you find the bit that was missing. I've done that myself. I've done that. So I've been working on this. Look, it's actually getting there now. It's beginning to grow. It's exciting. But yeah, I can't stay on for too much longer though. Although Gary is now in the bath and you know, he spends over an hour in the bath. Seriously. Gary takes a Kindle in the bath and he reads. And he used to play Candy Crush and a few other games as well. And he would sit in the bath and just until he was like dead, you know, until his lives were all gone on his games. And then he'd get out. But now he's reading again. Before I met him, he used to read a lot of books. And then he met me and that was the end of his reading. He didn't have sort of opportunities anymore and he got into the games. But now he started reading again, and Gary does read a lot of things like he likes Clive Cussler and he likes Lee Child, but he does like somebody called Gemmell as well. He likes him. But yeah, he does love things like Clive Cussler and River God and all that sort of thing. He reads a lot of those sort of books. Occasionally he'll read something like Andy McNab, you know, or something like that, or a war book. But he does like his books. I've got a few books now, and I really do need to start reading more. I did start reading Michelle Obama again, but it stopped again. Oh, Christmas got in the way, really. But I've now got one of these big. Oh look, is that a mistake? Or have I got to the end of my corner? Got to the end of my corner. Thank goodness for that. So, what was I going to say? I've forgotten. What was I talking about? Nope, it's gone out my head. Oh yeah, I've got this cushion that you can sit up in bed in. You know, one of them huggy cushions, a big furry one. There we go. That's the second part of the corner. Yeah, it's sort of got arms at the side. And it's a big furry cushion. So I can put that in the corner of my bed and then get nice and comfy and read. And the other day, Michael came over because it was New Year's Day. And he came over for dinner. And he said about, oh, have you got a cushion? Because we're sitting on garden furniture until the new furniture arrives. And he said, have you got a cushion? So I said, I'll tell you what, I got my Snuggie thing out. And that was it. He said, oh, can I have it? And I'm like, no, you can't. And he's like, how about if I just borrow it? Like, no, I was not leaving the house. So we had this kind of major, I just borrow it for a little while. No. And all he kept saying was, oh, I really like it. I really want one of these. So I bought him one for his birthday. But yeah, because he's got very low chairs. And honestly, they're awful. They really are. I hate, you know, when you sort of get up, it's like so low to the ground. It's a bit difficult to get up from. That's what they're like, his chairs. I'm not going to do any more today. Well, I mean, on camera. I might do some more when I'm watching TV later. but I didn't get much done. Never mind, you know, at least it's a start. My one car, I need to clear out the car now, don't I? So I've got room for car rugs, because all I've got in there at the moment is debris. Yeah, that's all there is. So I've had my couple of cups of tea. I'm now ready to go to the little girl's room and torment Gary. I'll make him a drink and get started on the dinner. So thanks for spending a bit of time with me this afternoon. I haven't done that many lives. I did say I was going to start and getting them done again and, you know, getting the swing, and then all of a sudden it all goes. But yeah, we'll do some more, and I'll try and do an evening one. Try not to clash with people, but it's hard. It's hard not to. But thank you for coming and spending some time with me. It's been great, and I will see you well tomorrow, and I'll do some more. Bye for now, guys. Take care. Happy New Year. Bye.